Buenos dias, Gunners Collective. Back at it. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba. You already know. Like a motherfucking smack addict. And today, just a little something different, as you can tell by that thumbnail, man. I'm bringing back one of my previous people that I interviewed. This is an OG, of author that's been around the block in the 6'4" plenty of times, man. From, of course, San Diego, Southern California. This individual is a representation of the raza and the true meaning of what it is to be for the gente, by the gente, for the people. And this vato is very well educated and knows a lot of the historia, of down south in Southern California and just things around, man. Like I said, he's been around, he's been incarcerated, in and out of prison, and is living a great life, man. So with that being said, let me introduce you to the homeboy and, straight out of San Diego, what's happening, brother? How you doing?
Hey, buenos dias, guns. Buenos dias to everybody out there. I just doing my thing, man. First and foremost, I'd like to thank you for your kind and generous words. And secondly, to all your to all the people out there listening, I'm just bringing a peaceful message, a positive message, a message of awareness, of caution, because and there's a lot of things happening. The world's in chaos right now. Humanity's in chaos. But the thing I want to bring focus on today is social media and the misinformation that can be spread. The lies, todas estas falsedades, being put out there by individuals, and things like that. They can hurt others. It can bring problems to other people. It hurts them in many ways. For people to spread lies. Lies have been around for a long time. You don't know that. But with social media, they're spread a lot easier.
Yeah.
And this is the message that I would like to touch on today. Social media and media itself, mainstream media has gotten out of hand to where they blatantly lie. They smut up, they discredit, certain people. We have to be careful, bro. We have to be careful what's put out there. That's why I have a lot of respect for your channel, and certain channels out there that, put out good material. Things that anybody can go on online and verify whether it's facts, or fiction. And like I said, I appreciate your words. I've been around the block. I've seen a couple things. I've heard a couple things, and some of the things that I've heard on social media, brother, it just I'm just befuddled by it.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. I know that we've talked previously, man, and there's a couple individuals that claim to have been somebody, or maybe possibly were somebody from certain group factions. Now, I don't like to touch on the political makeup, the rules and regulations of to certain group factions, just based on that's their thing, that's their business. But again, when someone's spreading false propaganda, or someone is out there putting too much tapatio on it, it's only right for someone who was actually there and knows a lot of these people, or knows of these people, to set the record straight. So with that being said, I know that you've brought it to my attention that there's a couple individuals that you've heard spills from on different channels, and nothing against the other channels. The other channels are doing their thing. They're moving and grooving. It's all respect. But a couple individuals that have spoken on some people's names that that are it to be fiction and not fact. So with that being said, man, can you kind of touch on some of that?
Yeah. Look, well, the thing is, I'm going to use that as an example. I want to use that as an example. As you know, I don't like to touch on certain topics. Prison politics is one of them. But for this film, I am. I am because, see, a lot of people don't see the big picture. Of when you're rooting these people on, you're like telling them like it's okay to lie. Put it out there. It doesn't matter. I'm going to use this guy as an example because this is everywhere, bro. It's not just with this type of genre, these type of channels, but it's out there everywhere. You know, people making up lies about other people, man, and getting people hurt and discredited. And I mean, life can ruin a person's life. You know, lies are can ruin a person's life. Okay, so I'm gonna use this guy as an example, and I'm gonna put his name out there because he puts his name out there. Okay, so I'm probably gonna get some backlash behind this. You know, some people ain't gonna like what I'm saying, but it's cold hard facts. But like I said, I'm just using this guy as an example of what goes on and what can happen when people lie. You know, we gotta stop people from spreading false propaganda and, you know, just blatant lies. Here's an example. There's an individual that goes by nickname Conejo from Brole, who claims that, you know, he used to be part of an organization, which I cannot say it wasn't. What I can tell you is that some of the stories that he's been telling are false. You can go on Google, you can go on online and look it up, and you'll see that what he's saying is a lie. What he's talking about is a lie. Okay? Anybody that knows San Diego, for starters, anybody that knows San Diego can tell you that in Logan Heights, there is no ranch houses. In one of his spills that he said, he mentioned that him and some other individuals jumped into some cars and went down to Logan to meet somebody that's already passed on, that was part of an organization, and that he lived in a big old ranch house in Logan Heights. That's a lie, brother. There is no ranch houses in San Diego. Not in Logan Heights. Not in Logan Heights. In San Diego, yeah, I'm sure there is, but not in Logan Heights. And anybody that knows the area can tell you that's a lie. Second, he mentioned somebody's name, person that I've never met, and con todo respeto, Luis Garcia, Boo Boo. This is just a person that I've heard his name on the streets, you know, growing up, being in the system. And he claimed that this person claimed this Tijuana, okay, and met with the people down there. You know, he crossed the border and met with the people down there, you know, with whoever was in charge down there. Well, that's a lie, because Boo Boo has been incarcerated since like the early to mid 80s. He's got a life sentence. So, and anybody can look that up. You can go see his story and see that it's a lie. Third, he mentioned something about another individual that he said was deported. You know, una persona del barrio del Sol. He's a citizen, bro. That man is a citizen. I mean, that's the reason that the U.S. didn't have a problem extraditing back to the United States, because that man's a citizen. You know, so he just keeps telling lies after lies after lies. Now, this is something that I want to point out to the public. This person he claims used to be from an organization. I can't say yay, I can't say nay. But think about this. If he's lying right now, all these things that he's saying are lies. This guy left that organization to leave. He had to have dropped out and debriefed. Think about the lies that he told. Think about the misinformation that he gave on other individuals that are still, you know, incarcerated and are still in the game. You know, that were lifers, that they have to go in front of a parole hearing, in front of a parole board, you know, to get a hearing. Think about the lies that he told that are on those C files. See what I'm getting at?
No, absolutely. I understand. Yeah. And when it comes to the C files, once those are in there, those stay in there. You know, for those that don't know.
You know, those are grounds for denial.
Oh, right off the top.
They can deny parole, you know, behind people's lives, you know, behind an individual's lives. This guy is a blatant liar. You know, he also said, there's another story, and anybody can go online and check the story. I mean, there's a book written about it. Well, they didn't write the book about him, but it's in the book.
Yeah.
Okay, it's in Box Enriquez's book when he talks about Chuco Castro. Okay, this guy says that when he was with Joe Morgan, Joe Morgan told him to go out there and check on Chuco because they heard he was already talking to the feds. Okay, facts. Joe Morgan died in '93, November, sometime in '93, because I was already incarcerated when I heard he had passed away. Okay, um, Chuco didn't start cooperating like till '94 because it's in the book. And if you were in the system and anybody told the war stories, you heard about it. The reason Hugo Castro decided to turn because they threatened him with the three strikes law. The three strikes law did not come into effect until '94. So how, why, how? I don't know where he gets that from. Where he gets it that Hugo Castro was talking to the feds in '93. They hadn't even threatened him with that yet because the three strikes law wasn't even in effect.
Mm. Yeah.
I mean, even because just like a lot of us that listen to these, type of channels, we like to listen to war stories. We like to hear war stories, though. And I checked some of these war stories and I heard them from people when I was in the system. The guy decided to cooperate when he got arrested with they found some guns in his address or something, and the three strikes law is what broke him.
Yeah, absolutely. I've heard the same thing, and again, I wanted to reiterate, this is not to slander a man's name. This is not to discredit any channels or anything. It was merely brought to our attention, and like I said, the homeboy just wanted to clarify some things because, again, you got to remember that some of these stories that people tell, they put a little too much on it, and it does affect people that are still in good standings, people that are still moving and grooving, as I would say, within the organization's movements of how how their life has deemed them going. It does put a burden on their shoulders, So at no time should anybody be bearing false witness or being a witness on anything anyways. And that's pretty much what the homie right here is trying to clear up, just that a lot of these stories that he's hearing, he knows them to be false just based on he knows a lot of these individuals and knows these stories well because he did time with a lot of these individuals or does know of them. So yeah, that's a trip, bro, that what could be the reasoning behind someone doing that? Just like, okay, we know this guy historically was involved at some hierarchy, some level. So why would he do this, bro? What's the benefits of it?
I have no idea. But like I said, I'm using him as an example of what others are doing or how lies can hurt people. But I'm using him as an example because I know that a lot of the listeners on your channel and these other channels, with the same genre, I mean, it's all the same crowd, basically. And I see a lot of the comments. How they loop this guy out like, oh yeah, another. Come on, man, you're rooting on. For starters, the guy is. I mean, be what it may. You know what? I mean, the guy is a snitch. Straight up. And two, he's lying. He's lying, and that could be harmful to all these people that he lied about and all the information that he gave. It's on the C file. But basically, what I'm trying to say is, don't spread lies. Be careful of what you believe.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. So as far as let's get into something about doing time in prison. I know that it's been many years since you've been in prison. I know that you've pretty much moved on in your life, man. You're living a more prosperous, better life, for you and those around you. What's your take on everything that's going on in this world as far as a prison, being shaken up? You have end of hostilities going on. You have them taking these SNY yards and mixing them with general population? How do you think this fares for the raza in general, or the gente that are actually incarcerated doing tiempo like they should, just doing their own time? Do you think it fares well? Do you think it's going to end well? Or do you think we can only just sit back and watch from a distance?
I hope and pray that the end of hostilities holds up, for the benefit of our people. There's been enough bloodshed. We've lost people to either to the knife or to behind bars. Some of the people are never coming home. Yeah, they're getting a lot of lifers a date, but you're still going to have some that they're not going to want to release. So, and I've seen, I got to see how the prison system is changing. See, I didn't voice my opinion. I wasn't really voicing when I was in there. I used to share some of my thoughts and my opinions with certain people, because you can't speak out against, the people that you're around, And so I held my tongue. But now that I'm a free man, and now that I see that there's a lot of people behind bars, man, that might not get a date, we shouldn't be at each other's necks. My enemy was not another brown man. My enemy was the guy wearing the suit.
The system.
With the badge. Yeah. And even then, I didn't see them as an enemy. I just seen them as an adversary. Like, okay, well, this is a chess game, and we're going to see who's better at it. If you guys are doing something illegal, then my bad. I should have been a little smarter.
Yeah, absolutely, I agree.
But and I know that a lot of people that have say so listen to your channel and all that. And I hope that they keep this peace treaty going, man. The end of hostilities. It's bringing a lot of people home. It's beneficial. Everybody's getting their family visits, and it seems to be going pretty good. You're always gonna have your little incidents, over. Well, whatever's going on in there.
No, prison is prison. Yeah, prison is prison.
So, yeah, prison is prison. Prison is prison. But, man, if they can just keep the peace, and see it as a stepping stone for our people to come together. Not just our people, humanity in general, man. I'm not raising my hand for the degenerates. Yeah. You know what I mean? Those still, they set them aside. Do what you got to do. No degenerates, no snitches. I'm not cool with that. I never have a problem like that. I'm not in that boat. The boat I'm in is about having peace with our people. With humanity. If the dude didn't tell, if the dude is not, Chomo, hey. I'm sure there's a way you can fix things and not ruin that person's prison career.
Yeah.
Because I've seen people, get thrown away for minor infractions, bro. You're like, man, really? And then guess what? The person that threw him under the bus was either telling, he was an informant, or he just supposedly got tired and he left. But after he ruled the countless other careers, no? So it's not fair that that happens to our people.
Yeah, it happens a lot, a lot, and it
happens time and again, bro.
Yeah, and it's not by design. It's not by design. It's just basically, it's where you're at that particular time and who's in position to make things happen, man. And sometimes, in not all cases, some of the guys that have position, man, shouldn't, but it is what it is. There's a lot of factors that go into that. So, Triple, I wanted to take it somewhere different, carnal. With what's going on with our gente right now, with our raza, man, with Cain Velasquez, UFC fighter, man, I'm sure it's out there in the world. Everyone's been paying attention to it. How do you feel about that situation, brother?
Oh, man, you know what? That's a whole different animal there, Look, a lot of people don't get it. California, okay, Gavin gave a lot of lifers a date
Yeah.
with the purpose of having everyone applaud him. But at the same time, there was a lot of funny characters, those, we're not going to mention them,
Yeah, the weirdos. Yeah.
yeah, the weirdos that benefited from that. See, that was the whole thing. We did it to benefit them. If you notice, if people pay attention, man, we got to open up our minds. We got to open up our eyes to this game. Look, these laws benefit them. Okay? Look at what happened, man. Look at the Cain Velasquez case. They gave this dude bail. They send him home to put a ankle monitor on the guy.
Yeah.
Look, I had dope cases. My cases were mostly dope. I never got put on an ankle bracelet.
Yeah, you never got that action.
Never. Some of it was, and one time I tried to bail out, they're like, nope. Oh.
Yeah, you ain't got nothing coming.
For something minor, yeah. So look, these laws were made to benefit these people.
Yeah.
There was a law. I don't know if they passed it or not, but there was a law they were trying to pass where they were lowering the age of sex without,
Yeah, I see.
Come on. Don't people see that?
Yeah, that's that right there in itself, bro.
Gavin did this, yeah, okay, he released a lot of our people. He released a lot of our gente that a lot of lifers.
That had it coming,
but
yeah.
They did it, yes, but they did it with that,
that agenda.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He released a lot of weirdos.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody's applauding him, but behind doors, they're letting out a lot of weirdos, and they're giving them, come on, look how relaxed the laws are when it comes to them type of cases.
Yeah, I've said it for a long time. I'm sure a lot of people have. It boggles the mind, homeboy, how these individuals time and time again, and we've both been behind those walls. We've seen it, not necessarily on the general population yards. They're not allowed to function. But just being incarcerated, we know that you see these guys that come through the system and go home time and time again, and sometimes come back on the same cases and go home again before you even get action at your date.
Those people should not ever get released. On the first case, that's
Done.
it.
Yeah, I agree.
That's it. That's it. That's child, man. They do that and they ruin that kid, man. That kid is ruined for life. That child is ruined for life.
No, I totally agree, bro. And with Cain, it seems like, with them not giving him bail, which is a whole nother thing in itself, it seems like they're trying to push a political agenda or even make it a precedent. They're using him as some type of, I can't call it, man. It just doesn't look.
It boils my blood.
Yeah, it does, and it's not only because he's a raza, you know what I mean? That first and foremost, it's just as a person, man. Anybody would do that, no matter who you are or where you're from. If someone touches your kid or someone in your family, what do you expect this man to do? The system has failed.
This is another thing, Gunner.
Yeah.
Where is our people right now, man? Where is our people? When they're mostly, cuando más se necesitan, ¿dónde está nuestra gente? Why aren't they at Sacramento? You know what I mean? Why aren't they at Capitol buildings? Why aren't they at the courthouse protesting? Don't burn no buildings. Don't riot. Don't go out there hurting the cops. But go out there and protest, man. Go out there and stand up. Because today was Cain Velasquez.
Yeah,
tomorrow could be one of us.
Exactly.
Tomorrow could be one of us, bro.
Yeah, and it will be.
Or it could be one of our kids. It could be one of our kids, one of our grandchildren.
Yeah. That's why coming together as a gente, man, as far as North and South, and I'm not speaking gangs, I'm talking about Northern California, Southern California, getting it together so that way we have more soldados for the forefront to fight the good fight for gente that are improperly incarcerated or given a bad shake. If we come together as a people, they'll think twice before they can do this to us.
Look, I've been saying this for a minute, for a while. And I'm not here to instigate anything. I'm not here to push anything. But if you're out there gangbanging, you're hurting your own people. You're hurting te estás lastimando tu propia gente, tu misma gente, tu raza. I mean, if you really want to take it out,
Yeah.
there's some out there that really, really deserve it.
Yeah.
I won't say no more because I know that, they might not understand your,
Yeah. No, it's all good. And I agree,
but
bro.
yeah, I mean, it doesn't take,
Yeah.
it doesn't take Einstein to figure out what I'm trying to say here.
Yeah, no, understandable. It's understandable. Again, yeah, you know what?
Anybody that's listening to your channel,
Yeah.
they have any brains, they know exactly what I'm talking about.
No, yeah, no doubt. No doubt, yeah.
Let's bring our people together, man. Let's bring humanity together. Weirdos and those that are active and in the game, and all of a sudden they get tired. Not that they get tired, but they get caught and roll on their people. I don't condone that. That's those. They're in the same bucket as the weirdos. This is another thing that I wanted to touch on. There's a lot of dudes out there, okay, and I know this. There's a lot of dudes out there, with a big old rocha and claiming to be this and claiming to be that, and they're working with the feds. And you see that we have seen that time and again with these indictments, with these RICOs. People, beware. If there is someone that gets arrested, that's been active, that's been doing things, and he gets arrested, and he's out on bail for a case that usually doesn't get bail, there is something wrong with that dude. There's something wrong with that person. All right? I've heard of dudes that are deportable. Check this out. They qualify. They are deportable. They went to the state, picked up a state number, and they're deportable. But they went to INS and they got bail. That doesn't happen anymore, bro.
Yeah.
Now, that does not happen. Anybody that's been in the system can tell you the only way that you get to stay in the United States after you've been to the state for certain crimes, whether it's guns, drugs, or anything like that, is if you're telling. That's the only way that they're going to allow you to remain in the United States, is if you're cooperating with the government.
Yeah.
If you are not a citizen of the United States and you pick up a case, whether it's a dope case or a gun case, and you go to the state, once you get a state number, the only way to remain in the United States is to cooperate with the government. I was in the CCA before I got released down to my country. Right?
Yeah.
And because of my case and the people that, that I knew and some people that were in my paper, whatever, when I was going to my last court, an undercover, the plane goes undercover, climbed in the elevator with me. He called me by my nickname, and he called me by my name, and I turned around and said, "Where I know you from?" I already knew you was a cop. "Where I know you from?" He's like, "Where you going, man?" So "I'm going back to my country." He's like, "You sure? It's a war zone out there." I'm like, "Yeah, I'm sure." He's like, "You sure? You don't want to stay here?" I'm like, "Nah." He's like, "No, we can make that happen, right?" I was like, "Man, look, I want nothing to do with that. I did my time. I don't owe you anything. Send me back to my country." And he tried to, they try to scare you. "Hey, well, it's rough down there. They're cutting people's heads off." And I said, "Yeah, but I ain't got nothing to do with that. I've never been involved in nothing like that. So, I can walk anywhere down there and, not have to fear anything because I didn't snitch on anybody. I didn't steal from anybody. So, send me back to my country." So I know how the government works, bro, and I know it happens. And I've heard of individuals living over there. See, I'm out of that lifestyle. But I have, I got friends that are over there. "Hey, man, so-and-so," I'm like, "What? Stay away from that, dude. Stay Stay away from them dudes. Because they're telling you. There is no way. You can ask a lawyer. Okay? If you've been to the state, if you caught a number for weapons or drugs, there's no way that the United States is going to allow you to remain in the country. They're going to deport you. The only way to stay is to cooperate with the government. And where do you think these Ricos are coming from?
Yeah, it happens time and time again. You know.
And I challenge anybody to deny it. I challenge anybody to prove me wrong.
Yeah, it's a cold game. It's a cold world, you know.
And that's for what I said. You know what I spoke on about this dude Conejo. It wasn't to defecate on his character. I just used him as an example because, well, he put himself out there, you know, and he's a perfect example of the type of people that you got to be aware of and what lies do to people. You know,
absolutely.
He named people that I met, people that I knew, or people that I had a third party that knew them, and I was like, man, you know, these are lies. What this guy's saying are lies. You know, and you can go on Google, like I said. I challenge anyone. They can go on Google and find this information out for themselves and think the lies that this guy's spreading, and there's a lot of people like him. The lies that this guy spread, he might have said that when he debriefed. And all that went into other people's C-files, to other individual C-files, and that's going to hold them from getting the parole date. Or it could be a factor.
Yeah.
So beware, people. You know, to all the raza out there, to everybody, blacks, whites, whatever. If you hear somebody spread lies, either stop them in their tracks or hit the heel on them. Get away from them people, man.
Yeah, I hear you, brother.
Get away from them people.
I hear you. Hey, with that being said, man, we appreciate your time, brother. You know what I mean? We're going to continue this righteous push, man, to unite the raza, to hopefully, man, just make it a better place for everybody to function as human beings, man, and make it a better world. We know we're going through a lot right now. We haven't even begun to touch on all the turmoils and the toil and the soil that's been going on, but we're going to continue to push stronger for the gente. You know, I hope that you move fast with a purpose. I hope that you get everything that you want coming to you, gente. Go out there and work hard for it because it doesn't come easy. But it's lovely when you have it. You know what I mean? Hey, anything else you got to say, my brother?
Just blessings to everyone from God of their choice, God of their beliefs. You know what I mean? I'm here to push positive message. I'm here to spread awareness. You know, humanity is under attack, bro. We have to stop attacking ourselves. We have to bring a stop to this. You know, humanity is under attack. If anybody is, you know, people open their eyes, they can see we are under attack. So, I mean, let's stop attacking each other in our neighborhoods, man.
No,
nosotros no somos los culpables. Nosotros no somos los enemigos. You know? Poverty, ignorance, that's who your enemy is, man. Poverty and ignorance, you know, and the system that's trying to enslave us, to keep us enslaved.
I agree.
You know, those are considered our enemies. Those are the ones we should consider our enemies. Not a man wearing a red cap or a blue cap or LA cap. Nah, man.
Yeah.
No, not a white dude or a black dude. I mean, look. Garbage comes in every color.
Yeah.
You know, you're gonna have brown, you're gonna have black, you're gonna have white garbage. You know, it comes in every color.
I agree, brother. I agree. With that being said, gracias, gente.
Muchas gracias.
Appreciate
blessings to everyone. And till next time, God.